Hello everyone and welcome to the program. I'm Sean Kimbalwe in Lagos. It is 222 days to the general elections. As the day draws close, new candidates are emerging, most of them showing interest in running for the office of the president. Here on China's television, we have engaged candidates across political platforms, giving them the opportunity to hear what they have to offer Nigerians, with most of them promising a departure from the norm. Today on the program, we'll continue with that tradition. And tonight we have Shina Fagbenro Byron. He has expertise in public policy and implementation, national development, and political economy. He's a lawyer and a rights activist. He says he loves Nigeria and will be seeking the ticket to run for the office of the president under the platform of KOWA party. He joins me here in the studio in Lagos. Thank you so much, Mr. Fagbenro, for your time on the program today. Why do you want to become Nigeria's president?
Well, principally because Nigeria needs a president, a Nigerian president. I'm afraid I wouldn't say Nigeria has a Nigerian president. Now, we have a president, though, because the issue of having a Nigerian president is that you need to drive Nigeria's interests. You know, we don't have a national interest, and the national interest can only be driven by a Nigerian president. A nation will only prosper.
The sitting president is not a Nigerian president?
Well, what I'm saying is that the sitting president is not governed. He's not directed by a national interest. He's not governed by an interest that can be so properly defined as a national interest. Look, any country that develops on earth has to be defined and driven by a national interest, which will drive its foreign policy, it'll drive its development policy, it'll drive its international relations policy, security policy as well. So take, for example, look, I would define what Nigeria's national interest to be as the protection of Nigerian lives, Nigerian lands, and Nigerian livelihoods, as well as the interest of Nigerians wherever they may be. Now, that is free of tribal, ethnic, religious sentiment. If you go into the history of Nigeria and if you do an articulation of how we have been defining or conducting what we believe is national interest, in the first place, the Constitution is flawed in the sense that it sort of describes Africa as the centerpiece of Nigeria. Africa cannot be the centerpiece of Nigeria's national interest.
So there goes a major problem. You are
that is a fundamental problem.
I mean, so when we have, you said the Constitution is flawed.
Yes.
I mean, where do you want to start from? If you're going to be a president, where is Constitution of that country is flawed?
Yes, you'll have to start from your own personal conception and personal redefinition in a manner that will be consistent with good governance, will be consistent with capability, will be consistent with national security, will be consistent with national responsiveness and the nature of the government and country we call Nigeria. Nigeria has two issues. It's a very diverse country, which means a plethora of interests. And it also is a very massive country.
That should be a plus for us.
It should be a plus for us. But when the diversity is working in contradistinction or conflicting with each other, it is a negative. And this is why we have most of the issues we have today.
Reading and studying your person, your program that you have outlined when you came out to say you want to be president. It looks so much that you've gone around the world to do good for yourself. You've been so many things within the private sector. A lot of you we do not find in politics. So in the first place, your choice of the party, is it the right one?
It's an absolute right one, because I happen to be a founding member of KOWA party, 2010. You see, and I wouldn't say it's strictly private sector. I've worked in government, but it's British government that I've worked for. And I've worked in international development, although I've worked mostly in Nigeria, working with state and federal governments in good governance and service delivery improvement. Having said that, I am a Nigerian, thoroughbred. And I never went anywhere. I schooled here from primary school, nursery school, to university 3 times. So I am ingested with the issues in this country, and I'm also very passionate about the issues. Now, what happens is that how do we now translate all that? All the talent in this country. I keep on telling people that Nigeria is the best kept secret. We have the talent, we have the natural resources. It's about leadership, putting it together. But you see, you have to have something that the nation will throw its resources behind to achieve a goal. And this is what I hanker on about national interest.
And that is you.
Absolutely.
That is even.
Absolutely. Well, people, and there are other people like me too. Okay. I mean, to be honest, there are other people like me.
So if you don't become a president, you cannot be able to give to Nigerians some of these things.
If you have a contradictory, or if you have the kind of government that does not even entertain or does not even understand the problems or does not even appreciate. I mean, take, for example, quite frankly, now, I mean, a whole lot of Nigerians are disappointed. I mean, this particular government is a disappointment.
Really?
Yes. In terms
Why would you say so?
Because we have a failure in security, which is the #1 responsibility.
I mean,
for a long time, we've had the greatest children out of school.
Debated.